That shit crazy.
We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome to the All Even Podcast. We finally got it right, Nicole. We finally got it right, Silent Assassin. We are live. Thank you for watching this show right now. We are live on YouTube. It is not All Even after hours. We're actually going live at a decent time. You can catch the show, catch me at All Even Podcast on Instagram, at X, or on X at All Even Podcast. All Even Media on TikTok. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. Tell a friend to subscribe. There's no Claw. There's no Jimmy. But the Silent Assassin is here. How you doing, man?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. How about you?
I don't know how to feel. You know, when the cameras go on, I'm all right. But after that, or before that, I'm just like, tired, man. It's been a long week.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
sometimes you're just tired. Maybe times I come home, try to spend time with my family, I just fall asleep like a crackhead on the couch. It's bad. It's bad. Like, look, I was like, all right, I got like, a half hour to myself. Let me just turn the game on. How do you fall asleep playing games? That don't make sense.
I don't get it now.
Yeah. I woke up with the control in my hand and the TV was off. How does that happen?
Yeah, it's like hours past. So just
that type of old I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like, 40 is approaching. I don't like the way I feel. So I may have to do something. I may have to join Casso Fitness because he's like on day 150 doing what the hell he's doing. So I got to join that. You know what I mean? Get some energy or something because it ain't working for me, man. It ain't working. You don't fall asleep playing games. If anything, you stay up because the game is on.
Yeah, I don't get were you just playing like a bad game? Like you just
I was playing MLB The Show.
Oh, I don't get how you're actively playing. Like I don't understand how you just knock out.
That's why I'm concerned. That's why I'm concerned because you don't fall asleep like that. That don't make no sense. So I'll get that fixed. Lots to get into though. We have some NFL news. NFL is kind of on the back burner, but we'll talk about it anyway. Jets watch. There's some stuff about Aaron Rodgers I don't like, but we gotta discuss it. Nick Bosa lightly cut from the Chargers. Jamar Chase may get a bag. I mean, we expected him to get a bag, but what they're talking about or rumored to get. Zach Martin retires from the Cowboys. That's a big thing. NBA, talk about the backlash of the All-Star weekend, All-Star game with LeBron. Oscar Robertson putting Draymond Green in his place. But was Draymond Green wrong? We'll discuss that. Hall of Fame finalists, I want to talk about that. Shouts to Lavar Ball. We heard that, he had emergency surgery and had an amputation. Crazy, but, hope everything's good with him. Victor Wembanyama. Breaking news on him. I have a different spin. I always have to have my own spin on things. So I'm going to talk about that. Mark Williams' agent, he has come out now and he's throwing shade at the Lakers. And we're going to discuss that. Mets news, spring training. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Carlos Mendoza, he's talked about the lineup. Maybe we know the top two guys. I don't really like it, but we're going to discuss it. And I got to say that you were right. You're right. There's some other stuff going on in Mets camp. We'll discuss that as well. ESPN has their percentage pie of who they think is going to win the World Series. I want to discuss that. And Major League Baseball and ESPN seem to be ending their contract for 2025. It's going to be after this season. It's going to be over. My irrelevant news of the week. And then the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Now, before that, we live in New York. The congestion prices thing, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I don't live in the city, but I didn't like it because if I got to go in the city, I got to pay extra money. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Right? But the people that lived in the city, they actually like, this is kind of good. Mm-hmm. We don't see all these damn Uber drivers out here. They trying to go somewhere else, and maybe that they don't even want to come in here no more. We like it. Mm. We like the peace and quiet, right? All of a sudden, here comes Trump. No more. So some people are like, yeah, Trump, it's great. But the people in New York like, nah, bro, we don't like that. Now he's causing more issues for the people that don't like him in the city, and you do this to them. Mm-hmm. So how do you feel? I mean, listen, granted, we are on the outskirts of New York City, but do you think it's a good thing? You think it's a bad thing? Like, what do you think?
I don't know. I guess for me personally, like if I was living in the city, I don't think I would like it because I'm not much of a public transportation person.
Right.
So if I was forced like take the train or something, I just want to be comfortable. Like I'd rather drive or walk, whatever it may be. So
plus you don't want to deal with those crazies though.
I don't know. I've never been on a subway. I'd never planned to be on a subway.
You need to go, right?
I don't want to be traveling
but
underground.
Not by yourself. Not by yourself. You coming with squad. Like we go together. You know what I mean? But damn, yeah, I agree. But come on now. Like, the fact that it's gone, like I said, as a driver, not loving the city, I'm great. But I do feel for the people that do live in the city. I've never wanted to live in the city. Like, my aunt loves the city. She used to work in the city. Mm-hmm. She would always say that she loved to just walk the city, take the buses, and enjoy, go to all the big stores and spend all the money. She likes that life. I don't like that. Like, when I retire, you know where I want to retire at? Montana. Like, off the beaten path. The nearest hospital is 100 miles. That's what I want. Don't bother me. I don't want nothing. If I want to sleep on a couch like a crackhead playing 2K or whatever it is, I want to do that in a peace and quiet of my own damn home. So me, I don't really care about the congestion prices. I got to give Trump that. I got to give it to him. For every 9 things that he's going to do terrible, you're going to give me a layup. I respect it. So shouts to him, man. Get that damn thing out of here. I was paying too much money. I didn't like it.
It was like $9, $10 too, and it's like, okay, it was $2, $3, whatever, but like
$9.
Crazy.
How you come up with that figure?
Yeah.
Right? You skip over to $150, the $350, $4, even the easy pass is what, 6 something? You go straight to $9.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's nasty work.
And it's like I'm just driving 2 minutes. I'm already paying like $20 there.
I'm just making a right turn.
Yeah.
I gotta pay $9 for that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
So yeah, get that shit out of here. People in the city, y'all go get over it. Y'all fine. All right. Let's get the brass tacks here, because the NFL is not the biggest topic. It's the NBA, obviously, right now. A lot of people are criticizing LeBron James for not playing in the All-Star game. It's like, oh, well, he was there at All-Star weekend, and then, at the last minute, he says that he can't play. And people are tying the integrity of the All-Star game and the effort to LeBron James. And I'm just like, I get LeBron's the face of the league. He's been the face of the league for a very long time. And one who is not a fan of a LeBron James, I can see how you can tie that to a LeBron James. But let's just be honest here. The All-Star game, the All-Star weekend for the NBA has not been great for a very long time. It has nothing to do with LeBron James. It has to do with the culture of the actual sport. You got guys making $50, $70, $75 million a year. You have guys that have big brands outside of the actual game. These guys don't want to get hurt for nothing. That's how they're looking at it. It's not how I'm looking at it. It's not how the fans are looking at it. That's how they're looking at it. This is not an NBA finals. These are not the playoffs. This is just an exhibition game where they feel that it's not really that important to them. Is that the right way to approach it? Maybe not. But what's the solution? You can't force them to play. You can't put things into the CBA to force them to play. I've heard guys, the guy that was a ex-hockey player, he's been on ESPN talking about, guys got to run through walls and do all this stuff. And when he was playing hockey, guys play hurt, you play injured. Guys back in the 90s played hurt and played injured. You know why hockey players have to play hurt and injured? It's because they're not getting $50 and $70 million a year. The highest paid hockey players out there are making $8, $9, $10 million probably, right? Connor McDavid's probably making that. But the low-level guys, they're not making that much money. They're getting long contracts, but the AAV of that contract is not that high. So guys have to continue to play and work hard and bust their ass and fight through injury just to make sure you secure a contract like that. You don't have to do that in the NBA. It's a different sport. It's a different game. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different way to be upbrought in the game. It's just different. So for everybody, if you want to criticize LeBron, cool. Criticize him. But he's not the only person that half-asses it. So if I'm just one person, you think I have control of everybody else here? Why don't they play hard? If I'm going to be out there hot dogging it, why can't everybody else play hard? If I'm not going to be a part of the game, you had other players a part of the game. Go ahead and play. I'm not here now. There's no excuse. I'm not holding you back anymore. Go ahead and play. So my thing is that LeBron is damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. I'm going to love to see what happens to this league when he's no longer around anymore, and who are they going to start poking the finger at? Because he's always the brunt of jokes or criticism no matter what he does. He didn't want to play in the game, felt that he needs to rest and prepare himself for the second half of the season to help onboard his new teammate in Luka Doncic. I don't see a problem with that. The All-Star game's not a big deal. And the way they've tried to change things topically has shown you that it's not a big deal. Because if you really want to get to the grassroots of changing something, you really try to change it from the ground up. They just, let's do a tournament, 40 points. It's nonsense. If you really want change, you need to go to your players and say, listen, we need you guys to go out there and play as hard as you can, blah, blah, blah. Or just revamp the entire thing and say, listen, no more all-star versus all-star. Let's open it up to selected all-stars against all the other great players around the world. I'd watch that. Have it more of like a USA basketball FIBA type of thing instead of it being international versus you have your international players in the NBA going against the other great international players in the world. I'd see that. That's an exhibition game I can watch. But you gotta try to revamp things and make it a little bit different. It's the reason why the NFL Pro Bowl, nobody gives a shit about that because nobody cared about it in the first place. Nobody cared. Baseball does it right because it's a sport that you can't really half-ass baseball. You have to play it. Like, you know what I mean? You can soft touch a pitch down the pipe. Somebody's going to hit it 600 feet. Nobody wants to see that, though, because what they have is the derby. Mm-hmm. So they give you the home run in the derby. Mm-hmm. You got your best guys hitting in the derby. Basketball doesn't do that. You have your rising stars for the dunk contest, and those are not players that people really want to see. So how do you change that? Well, you have to find ways to make it more interesting. Make it the Rising Stars Challenge against the local guys in the area. Make sure that the guys that are local, if they win, they get a G League tryout or a G League contract or something. Make it something so people can actually invest and say, yo, I want this guy to win. I want this guy. I've been following this guy. I love his story. Let's go ahead and see if he can be able to get in there and win. It's just certain things. Like I like the whole Steph Curry Ionescu thing was cool, right? It's different. Find ways to just be different instead of trying to change things all the time and play it. And people need to just stop criticizing the NBA All-Star Weekend. Every year we have the same shit. Why is it so bad? Why can they change? It's not gonna get any better. Players are making more money. They have more exposure globally. They don't need the All-Star game anymore to push their brands forward. That's what the All-Star game used to be. Let me see this guy go against this guy. We get matchups all the time now. We see everybody play against. Players are playing against everybody now. There is no matchup that you don't want to see, that you haven't seen. Sorry. Moving on. That's it. Yeah, Oscar Robertson said some stuff. And you know, do I agree with him? I don't know if I agree with him. Do I agree with Draymond? I don't know if I agree with him either. But I love the fact that the old guy said, who cares about Draymond Green? That was great. I didn't think he had it in him. I thought he was gonna be like, well, you know, Draymond is entitled to his own opinion and stuff like that. But he's just like, yo, dude, who cares about what you say? You gonna go to your podcast and say some dumb shit? Don't nobody care. I like that. I like sometimes when old guys get all snippy. I like that because I'd be like that. You know what I mean? Because like again, Draymond was on the broadcast. He's criticizing it outright. It's like, do you want, if you're the NBA, do you want that type of person criticizing your product while it's going on? It's real, but do you really want that? So that's all I'm saying. It's just like, I understand Draymond and I side with him on a lot of stuff, and I also side with Oscar Robertson. It's just like, yo, dude, like you're a part of the league. Who gives a shit? I think people are putting a way too much pressure and stress on this All-Star game. It's not really that important. Really isn't. Like nobody has ever said to me, oh my goodness, you know, I spent so much money and so much time, watching All-Star Weekend. No. If you have things to do, you do it. You're not missing anything. I couldn't tell you the last All-Star Weekend that I sat down and watched from Friday to Sunday. I got shit to do. And plus, it's not exciting anymore. So, moving on. What else we got? NBA Hall of Fame finalists. I saw some people on the list there that I loved. Let's go ahead and just pull that up. So who do we have? We have Danny Crawford, referee, 32-year NBA career. It's crazy. Officiated over 2,000 regular season games. My God. We got Carmelo Anthony, 22.5 points per game, 19 seasons. Wow. 10-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA, 2013 NBA scoring champion. National champion, top 75 anniversary team. So well-deserved for him. Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan is here. I want to see who's on this list that I have questions about. Mark Few, don't have no questions there. He's been a great coach there at Gonzaga. Dwight Howard. Yes, I will take. That's good. Marquise Johnson. Good. Jerry Welsh. 494 wins over SUNY Potsdam. That's cool. Buck Williams. Buck Williams is an interesting one. Interesting. Women's committee finalists. Jennifer Ozzie. Sue Bird. Sylvia Fowles. Maya Moore. So, yeah, I like all of these names here. Obviously, the headliner of the class is Carmelo Anthony, and shouts to Carmelo, man. I think for him, this is, I wouldn't say vindication, but this is just like a stamp of approval of just a very, very decorated career, right? Olympic gold medals, national champion, scoring champion, all NBA great, scored a ton of points in the NBA, you know, dazzled us with the Nuggets, went to the Knicks and played well, became a role player for the Thunder, the Rockets, the Blazers, the Lakers. Like, this is a guy that really got the most out of his career. I think you saw a lot of immaturity when he was younger, but then when you're faced with adversity and faced with the league telling you, hey, you know, may not want you unless you change your game, and he said, okay, humbled himself, got back into the league, and became a real good veteran, man, and wanted to help guys out. So salute to him, and on top of that, just a Hall of Fame father as well. You know, what he's doing with Cayenne, man, it's just dope to see that kid being able to have the tutelage and support and the guidance from a guy that has done it before him and can be able to kind of show him the way and tell him the things that he did and what to watch out for and mistakes that, you know, don't follow in my particular mistakes that I did. So shouts to him. Dwight Howard, man. I think Dwight Howard, when you talk about Dwight Howard, 8-time NBA All-Star, 8-time All-NBA, 3-time most, Defensive Player of the Year, is a champion with my Lakers. Just a guy in regards to athletic ability. And I think his athletic ability took him to the heights that he got to. I don't think that Dwight worked hard at his game in the early years of his career, because I think that he was just so caught up in being super athletic and stronger than everybody else that he felt that he didn't have to work on certain things. But what happens is that age catches up to us, and you have to develop skill rather than have this natural athletic ability. Once that wanes, what are you going to do? And we saw a little bit of that when he started to erode physically in regards to athleticism, and he wasn't as effective. Still a great rebounder, still a very good shot blocker, but just wasn't effective around the paint anymore. And then the maturity issues and him not being a leader, him not taking things seriously, him having a bad reputation kind of let him bounce around a lot for a guy that never should have bounced around as much as he did. But then he kind of got it together, matured, realized what he was supposed to be, and wanted to be an all-star, wanted to be a guy that contributed. I wish he was still in the league now. I think there's a space for him right now on my team. We need him. No Alex Len. I'd take Dwight. So shouts to Dwight. I believe he's definitely a Hall of Famer. First ballot, I don't know. So we'll see. But yeah, I love this list. I can't wait to see the Hall of Fame ceremonies. I always love those things, man. I always love those things. I love the stories. I love the speeches. So, looking forward to that. Moving on. What is happening with my man LeVar Ball? Like, when I saw the report, I saw everybody sending me things about Lavar Ball, and I was just like, what's going on with Lavar? He didn't pass, did he? But no. So it was said that he suffered a serious medical issue. They're not highlighting what it was. And listen, you know, he wants his privacy. It's all good. But, you know, I'm just really, really happy that he's okay. This is a guy that doesn't get enough credit and enough praise of how he got his boys to all get their chance in the sun. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Jello is not a great athlete. Yeah, he made some mistakes. But, you know, he's now a rap artist. He's now doing what he got to do. Song trash. But, you know, he's doing what he wants to do. And as a father myself, it's refreshing to see your kid try to find different lanes to be able to be successful. They're not just resting on their laurels or saying, oh, well, you know, my two little brothers or my two brothers, they're cool. Let me just kind of, you know, stay in the shadows and kind of eat off of them. Like, nah, he's trying to create his own path. And you got to respect that. And I think that is a testament to Lavar, to, you know, his wife, you know, their mother. So I hope that he can be able to recover as fast as possible so he can be able to be there and support his kids. And listen, you know, amputations nowadays are not as bad as they used to. You know, you can have an artificial leg, and these prosthetics are better than your regular leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, you end up being more superhuman. So Lavar may end up, you know, being a lot more Lavar than he was before. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just, I'm glad that he's good. I'm glad that he has a clean bill of health going forward, hopefully. And it's just, you know, I just admire, as a father, I admire Lavar Ball. You know, a lot of people was just like, oh, Lavar's this big mouth. But, yo, he got his son, Lonzo, to be the second overall pick in the NBA draft because he hyped his son up so much that the Lakers said, I believe him. Let's draft him. They could have drafted anybody else. They could have drafted Tatum. They could have drafted De'Aaron Fox. They drafted this kid because Lavar did such a great job talking this kid up. And then he said, yo, if you think that Lonzo's good, you wait till Melo gets here. Melo's not. And boy, was he right. Melo is better than his brother. Melo's one of the best young players in the NBA. Lavar told us this. Only thing he got wrong was Jello. That's it. He's like, oh, you know, Jello got to go. No. We don't want him. We don't want him. Okay? The other two, yes. We don't want that guy. Not basketball wise. Yeah, he be something else. He rap. They cool. Not on the court. So, but nah, shouts to Lavar, man. Hope everything is good. And I've always been a big Baller brand supporter. So, shouts to Lavar. Moving on. Mark Williams' agent is losing his fucking mind. Right? Now I get it. I understand that you have to prop up your player. You have to make sure that guys are getting their value. You have to make sure that you don't decrease your player's value, because if his value is decreased, he ain't gonna get no bread. So I understand his agent coming after the Lakers and saying, oh, they've went ahead and tested, or they've consulted with several other doctors outside of the sport, and they've all said that the Lakers shouldn't have failed his physical, that he's fine. He has to say this. He's representing the guy. Even if his physical is trash, he got to say this, because he's trying to get that kid a bag. So shouts to him. I'm not going to criticize him for that. But I know the Hornets better not say no wild stuff because they were like, yeah, the Lakers, they tricked us. They told us that this was a better deal and we listened. But we don't care because we love Mark. But yet they want to complain and say, well, we might complain to the league office to let this trade go through. Liars. Gaslighters. So it's fine. You keep the player. You think the Lakers didn't want to make this trade? We signed Alex Len. He's horrible. They signed a guy that hasn't played more than 10 minutes a game in like 6 years. Do you think that we wanted Alex Len? We wanted the young kid in Charlotte. But if his physicals are trash, we not signing him. Because we may be able to get a lot out of him in the short term, but they're looking for a long-term investment. That's why you trade for a 23-year-old. If you wanted a short-term deal, you'd have kept somebody else. You'd have go get yourself a 31-year-old. Go get yourself somebody who's just gonna help you in the short term. You trade those draft picks, you trade your other young players because you want to make sure that this is a guy that can stay there for the next decade.
Yeah. Also, like, what are the medical issues like with him?
They haven't disclosed that because I think they don't want to have that in the public because it's just, it could be some things that can be detrimental for the player.
Yeah. And
you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So just out of the respect for the player and his situation, it's best that they keep that private. Mm-hmm. But listen, the Lakers in their history, they've signed and traded for guys that have questionable medicals. When Andrew Bynum got drafted by the Lakers, this was a 17-year-old kid that had bad knees. And the doctors told him, this kid has bad knees. This kid is going to need surgery. We don't know when. We don't know when those knees are going to give out. And they said, yeah, we're going to take him anyway. We feel that we can be able to get the most out of him before those knees go bad. And lo and behold, they won back-to-back championships with that kid. He was a vital piece of those two championships. Did he last 10 years in the league? He didn't. Because those knees were just too bad. So there are times where a team will say, we'll take the risk because we see the upside of this player is tremendous. And we're willing to take that risk. But there's other times if you're building your organization and you want to be an organization that has sustainability, where you can be competitive for every single season for the next decade, you have to make sure that you're making smart investments. Because if you're not making smart investments and you go ahead and just say, oh, well, we're just going to sign this guy, then you're now trading all of these assets and resources. And if this player doesn't work out, you can't trade him because nobody's going to want him. And now you have no draft picks. You have nothing in the cabinet to be able to replenish and rebuild your team. So you got to be smart with your investments. You got to be smart with the trades that you make. You have to be smart with what young players you're choosing to invest in. So, am I mad? No, I'm not mad. I'm just more upset that we couldn't get the player because he's damn good. And we got Alex Len. He sucks. He does. Man didn't even play much last night. What's the point of having him? I just hope they cut him and find somebody else. Just do that. It's been bad. We lose to the damn Hornets last night. They're one of the worst teams in the league. Luka looks like garbage, right? I'm not mad. I know it's going to take time. But come on now. You think that we wanted Alex Len not to get Mark Williams? So, agent, you can say whatever the hell you want. That's fine. I'm not even mad. This is what I really want to get into, though. This is great. Well, not great. I'm not going to say that. I'll take it back. Victor Wembanyama, big news for him, breaking news. Out for the rest of the season. Has a deep vein thrombosis, meaning that there's a blood clot in his right shoulder, which is pretty serious. They don't think that it's going to be something that's lasting. So they say it's an isolated incident. But then I do see other reports that say that this is something that could be career threatening. So I know that, Chris Bosh dealt with blood clots, is why he had to end his career. There's been other players as well. So hopefully this is not the case for Victor Wembanyama. He's a great young player. He is going to be the face of the league. So hopefully he can be able to recover. This season has kind of been a wash anyway. They got De'Aaron Fox. They weren't playing that well. So they can be able to just kind of let Wemby heal, let De'Aaron Fox do his thing, get comfortable in San Antonio. Hopefully Greg Popovich can come back next year if he decides to continue to coach. He may walk away. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But for Victor Wembanyama, I think I'm just hoping that nothing else comes of this. I don't think that the team are gonna release all the details now. They're gonna tell you everything's fine. We're gonna monitor and see everything. Everything's fine. So we're just gonna have to see over the coming months how he recovers. If everything it goes well, I just hope that this is not something that ends up being bigger than what they originally reported. So that's the positive side of me, because I want to see this kid succeed. But then there's another side of me that thinks about these dark conspiracies and these out-of-world events that you can't control, but you see it because you've seen the storyline play out year and year and year after year after year after year, team after team after team. It just continues to play out, and this dark cloud continues to just move somewhere else. It used to be in New Orleans, and then it moved to LA. Then after that, it moved to Houston. And then after that, it moved to Oklahoma City. And then it just kept moving and moving. It's just like, why is this happening? Where is this dark cloud coming from? And I told people to start this season, I said it. I said, I hope that Wembanyama doesn't get hurt, because somebody was always going to be here to have that potential of harm come to you on the court. And who am I talking about? It's Black Cat Paul. It's here, right? I gotta say it. The man was in Phoenix, right? Man was in Phoenix, and Kevin Durant was there, right? He was there and tripped on air. I saw the video. The man tripped on air and was out 6 to 8 weeks. I've never seen nothing like that. Blake Griffin couldn't stay healthy, right? It just continues to go on. I don't understand why people are not getting on this train, but I've been pushing this narrative for 15 years. This is not something I just created overnight. Black Cat Paul I'm telling you, Salazar, did I not call this? Did I not call this? This was in October. Even before, not even in October, when he signed. He got traded over there. I was like, oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah. It's just like crazy how like literal it is. Like everywhere he goes, like something has to. Also too, like, you don't think like blood clots happen to younger people. Like, granted, it can happen too. So it's just kind of like, where'd this kind of come from out of nowhere? And of course, it's the team that he's with. So
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to even know that this is a thing that that can even happen. Uh-huh. This is a young kid. Uh-huh. He had blood clots in the shoulder. What?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, if I'm the trainers, right, and he comes out of the room and the doctor's like, look, he got a blood clot in his shoulder. The first thing I'm going to say is, was he with Chris Paul? Where's Chris? Was he around this guy? Get him away. All right? It's time to trade him. Make him just get him out of the building. Get him out of the building. Don't leave. You have De'Aaron Fox now. Right? You got De'Aaron Fox. You don't need Chris Paul anymore. Get rid of him. Okay? Let him go somewhere else. Let him go to Boston. That's where I want Chris Paul to go. Go to Boston because they have a good team over there. They got good culture. They have good players. They've won a championship. You have a chance to win there. Go to Boston. I'm praying that he goes to Boston. Nowhere else. Just go to Boston. Okay? And make sure that you're there for the entire season, and then after the regular season's over, playoffs start, and you're on that playoff roster. I want him to go to Boston. Here's what's going on, sports guys. Let him go to the Celtics. Okay? That's where I want him to go. So, Victor Wembanyama, get better soon, please. And when you do get better, call management and say, look, I'm back. I feel great. But I am making one request. What's that request? I mean, what you need? What do you need? You need a press conference. I don't need none of that. Do you need an extra trainer? You need somebody to help you out? I don't need none of that. I just need whoever the GM is to ship Chris Paul out of town. That's what he's gonna request. Get him out of here because he's nothing but a jinx. So I can't believe it. I can't believe I called that. Like Babe Ruth calling a shot. I called it. I knew it. Moving on. See, when I'm up here telling the truth, people say I'm a hater. Like, oh, you a hater. You just... And then when it happens, they look at me and say, well, yeah, tough luck. Oh, it's tough luck now, right? I call this. Give me my props. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. I would talk about my Lakers, but I won't. As a matter of fact, yeah, I am. So they lose that game against the Charlotte Hornets last night. Double-digit lead, they lost. Came out in the third quarter sluggish. Austin Reeves gets ejected out of the game for a call that the refs screwed up on. That's the thing that kills me, right? You're wrong. I can't tell you about yourself. How that make sense? You messed up the call, so I can't say nothing? And on top of that, he's a young guy. He's a white guy. Let him go. Like, white guys don't get mad like that. They don't. They go, come on, Billy. What are we doing? Come on. Get the call right. I don't think Austin Reeves said anything bad. He's a country kid. He's not going to go crazy. Don't eject my man. And we lost the game because of that. Luka looked like an old man out there. He can't move. You should have seen what Melo was doing to him last night. It was embarrassing. If Luka's gonna look like this, just shut him down until he lost some weight. Because I don't know who this is. This ain't Luka. This is Lewis. This is Lewis Doncic. This ain't Luka. I don't know who this is. Because he looks old, he looks slow. I don't like it. You got the 40-year-old out there damn near triple-double last night. And you got the 25-year-old looking like, what did I say his name was? Lewis, yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it. So we got to get it together because we can't lose ground in the Western Conference. We're fifth place right now. We're like a half game behind Houston. We need to continue to win games. We got the Houston. We got our Portland Trailblazers tonight. If they lose to Portland, I'm coming on here to emergency pod. I don't care what I got to go live on. My phone, I got to use somebody else's phone. I got to talk about it. Because we can't lose no back-to-back games of two of the worst teams in the league and expect me to be happy about it. Shape up. Lewis. He's not Luka right now. He's Lewis. It's ridiculous. I'm watching that game last night. I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Man shot, I think it was like 3 for 18. Like, what? You can't shoot? Go to the basket, do something. Or how about this? Just pass the ball and get out the way. Pass it and get out the way. Don't just keep shooting. Then you had Melo. I'm telling you, you should have seen it. Melo was dancing on him like it was Footloose. It was ridiculous. And he was laughing as he was doing it. Oh, you, okay, ISO. JJ Redick was losing his mind on sidelines. As a Laker fan, it bothers me. And we wasn't even in Charlotte. You get dogged at home. And then on top of that, LeBron, he misses the three. How many shots he gonna miss? Game-winning, game-tying shots. You know what his stat is in regards to game-tying or game-winning shots for the Lakers since he's been here? He is 1 for 29. I love LeBron, but give it to somebody else. You can't shoot, man. Not in that situation. Or how about this? How about instead of shooting the shot, just go to the basket. Just go try to do a layup, do something. Don't shoot. I'm upset. Because I don't like the way it's going. Dallas fans are probably happy right now, but I don't like it. Louis Doncic. Get him the hell out of here. All right, moving on. Where we at? Oh, my irrelevant news of the week.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean,
we doing football last. Nobody care about football right now. There's too many good things going on. We're not talking about no damn football right now. Every week we go into the irrelevant news, and there's a lot of good ones this week. Let's see what I can come up with. Let's start with Oh, we were talking about this. And we should continue to talk about this. NASA says that there is a 3.1% chance an asteroid will hit Earth in 2032. So I saw this and I was just like, oh, they said it's up from 2.8 to 3.1. So what's going to happen next year? Is it going to jump to 4? 5?
Because even either earlier in this week or it was last week, it was like around like in the 1% like percentage range that I saw. And then it jumped up.
So it's already doubled?
2 and then 3. Yeah, it just keeps going up. So like within a week span.
Well,
so it could be any day.
We've seen a lot of stuff happening in the air. So it wouldn't shock me. But here's my thing. We got all these damn lasers and shit. Just shoot it up there.
Just move the
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't have me stressed out about this stupid ass asteroid. I got enough stuff to worry about.
Yeah. Like
I gotta record next week. I gotta be worried about no damn asteroid.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
That like would be like out of everything. Like, oh, we got Ash. Like we have what is it? What's the movie?
Armageddon?
Yeah, like imagine we have Armageddon.
Yeah. But you know what? You know why it wouldn't be Armageddon? Because that's when the aliens will say, all right, enough. We're coming to take over this thing. All right? Y'all get the hell out of the way. We're going to go up there and we're just going to throw it somewhere else. That's what's going to happen. If it gets to 15 to 20%, aliens will come.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to mess this place up. All right? This is a nice place, good resources, good planet. We not going to make y'all screw this up. So, I ain't worried about it.
Yeah, they're going to work with us.
Yeah. We got enough resources, lasers, the spaceships. Just do what Armageddon did. Fly some people up there, right? Have Aerosmith play the song. Right? Have Aerosmith play the song. Have them go up there and just deal with it. That's it. We don't even have to hear about it. Just have a secret mission and go up there.
Just do it. Like,
Yeah.
Even the other movie that came, what is it? Don't Look Up.
Right.
Where like they're like, oh, like this is like a major concern.
Yeah.
Like, let's take care of it. Like, there should be a warning now where it's a low percentage rate.
Yeah.
Just deal with it now.
Take your ass up there now and deal with that.
Yeah.
Don't even wait.
Don't like even like even like 5%.
Yeah.
That's high. Like,
Nobody
would
listen. Nobody want to wait 7 years. What's it at? 28% now? No. Deal with it now.
Yeah.
Deal with it now. That's what I'm saying. Asteroid. Don't we have enough to deal with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got idiots running the. You know what? Let me just move it on. just leave that there. I gotta give Trump a layup here. I do. I have to. Right? Listen, so when you do things good, I have to be the one to say, I applaud you. I got to. I can't just be a hater. You have to give people their flowers when they do good stuff. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. President Trump revealed Kobe Bryant will receive a statue at the National Garden of American Heroes alongside Rosa Parks, MLK, Jackie Robinson, Muhammad Ali, and others. Aretha Franklin is going to be a part of that. Harriet Tubman, Billie Holiday, Coretta Scott King, Booker T. Washington, Frederick Douglass, many more. The Garden of Statues will include hundreds of American icons and the art of legendary artists. Wow. That's good. That's actually pretty cool. You know, I'm curious to see how that's going to look. But the one thing that concerns me is we've seen so many bad statues of people. I just hope that they have the best statue guy.
Yeah.
To be able to do something. You know what I mean? Like, don't have no Dwayne Wade statue is nasty work. Right? Cristiano Ronaldo, nasty work. Even Kobe Bryant statue right there in Staples Center, I don't like it. Right? His eyes are too close together. I don't like that. Get it right. If you're gonna have Muhammad Ali, make sure you get good, do the good stuff. Get somebody who's elite. Don't get no cheap statues. And on top of that too, I don't want that place looking like the 76ers Monument Park. They statues like this big. They look like action figures. Get that shit out of here. Have some real statues. You know what I mean?
Get like the height accurate.
Yeah. That's actually a good idea. To actually just have height accurate statues. Yeah. If they were like this big, make them this big. It's fine. Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea. Yeah, Silent Size got the good ideas, boy. But yeah, I want to make sure that it's good. And don't make it look like Monument Park in Yankee Stadium. Rubbish, right? That place is rubbish. Make sure it's good. Make sure it's good. So people can sit there, enjoy. They can see all the plaques and see the people of importance and the decades and all. I love that. So gotta give Trump his flowers. I respect that. I like that. I don't care about all the plastic straws that you brought back, but I like this. I like this. This is good. Let's see. Oh, I saw this. Possum eats entire chocolate cake. Did you hear about this story?
No, I didn't see that, no.
So a Nebraska resident found a possum on her back deck, panting and curled up on her couch. Now, she's laughing about it. Mm-hmm. What would you do if you found a possum comatose on your couch after eating your dinner? Yeah?
I don't even know. Like, to be honest, I would just kind of let it be, I think. It's like, you do your thing. Like, you're chilling there, possibly dying from eating this cake.
So you would just allow him access to just sit on your couch for the rest of the night?
Well, like, I can't handle that. Like, that's like a rabid animal.
It's very
it's like
listen.
They're crazy.
I will tell you that I told you my possum story, correct? Listen, these dudes are the worst, right? I spared this possum's life. First off, I went outside and want to go take out my garbage, open the can, and he's in there, stuck, right? Panting. I said, you little bastard, right? So I tilt the can over, and knock his ass out of there, right? I said, I don't want to harm you, man. Just go about your business. Get the hell out of here, right? I've saved your life. Go back to your family. 2 days later, I'm in my house, and I decided I want to go outside the back to go throw something out. Who do I see again? Munching on a garbage bag that I had outside. That same stupid-ass possum. And you know what he did? He looked up at me, and he had that look like, yeah, I messed up again, didn't I? And slowly backed away and walked his big ass down the steps and disappeared into the shadows. I said, this little bastard, I saved your life and you still rummaging through my damn garbage? They got no shame. So if I seen that possum on my couch comatose and it was in a food coma, had the itis, I'm kicking his ass out. Yeah. That's it. Or I get one of those big pots, throw his ass in there, and stick it into the oven. I'm gonna get my food somehow tonight. If you eat my dinner, then now you're gonna become dinner.
You're a baked possum.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. That's why I can't live in places like Nebraska and all these places. Like they got too much wildlife out there. I don't want no damn wildlife stealing my food.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be my food next. And don't know, I don't want to have nobody come to my door. Oh my God, what did you do to that possum, that duck, that kid? Don't come to my house. You come to my house, it's fair game, right? Burglar come to my house, dead, right? Possum come to my house, food. That's what I'm saying.
Chopped up possum.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. You should have seen curled up like his house.
But I don't get like, so it was outside, ate the cake. Like,
Ate the cake. The cake the cake was inside the house.
So it got in the house, ate
Got in the couch. Yeah, got in the house, ate the cake, jumped on the couch, went to sleep.
That's crazy.
And mind you, the cake is still messed up on the floor. Yo, it's nasty work.
Yeah. But even like those, I feel like those are like the most like disgusting animals.
Crackhead animals. They're just rummaging through garbage. And they eat shit.
Yeah.
They love it.
Yeah. You're gross.
So you know what? Come to think about it, maybe the cake was horrible. That's why he liked it. Yeah? So,
Yeah,
this smells like crap. I'll eat it. You know? Maybe the husband's like, oh my God, thank God that possum ate that cake. Because she's gonna force me to eat it. Oh, honey, the possum got to it. Damn it. Looks like you're not gonna bake again until 6 months from now. Well, yeah, I'm just tired. Oh, thank God. Yeah, it's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. So I better not see no more possums. They're around here though. I see possums, there's snakes, lizards. I have a lizard family that's in my backyard.
Yeah.
His name is Larry.
Yeah.
And he has a family back there.
I do have like actually a few lizards too. They popped up.
Yeah.
Within the last like year or two, and like I caught it on video.
Yeah.
And because I was telling my other family, my mom and I were telling them, they're like, "There's no way that you have lizards. Like it's not like the area."
They couldn't believe you.
Yeah. And I had a video. I'm like, literally, there's lizards outside, and they like scurry in like a crack.
Yep.
In the bricks, and then they like.
Yeah. Listen, Larry and his family have been here for 9 years.
Yeah.
I saw one. There was one that I had picked up. It was dead. I don't know if that was Larry. That was very sad. I said, I said, Larry, come on, man. It's not the way to go out, man. So I'm hoping that I see Larry when it gets nice. He likes to perch on the rock in the morning to look out. If I don't see that, I know Larry's dead. And I know his family has moved on, which is very sad. That is my irrelevant news of the week.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch them? I mean, they stink.
Football talk. Who cares about football now? You know?
No.
Until the draft comes, who cares? Yeah. But we're going to talk about it. Jets watch! I don't have the sound, so, whatever. So when the Jets were looking for head coaches, right? They had head coaching candidates that they wanted to interview for the job and discuss the framework of the team, discuss the roster, what strategy, what are they going to implement, all of these things. I don't know if this is true, but they're putting it out there, so obviously they want this out there, or somebody leaked it, that most of the head coaches that interviewed for the head coaching job for the Jets did not want Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. They said that they would rather move on if they did take the job. I'm just like, damn. Why nobody want my guy, man? He ain't that bad. Just a few years ago, the man won MVP, and now nobody wants him. Just sad, man. But I honestly think that the Giants are a good fit for him. I really do. Like, I'm not even kidding. I think that the fact that he likes New York, they need a quarterback to be a bridge for right now. Why trade for Stafford and have to give up picks when you can sign Aaron Rodgers outright? Or I think there has to be some compensation. I think the Jets are going to trade him, but I think that would make a lot more sense. I think him and Malik Neighbors would be a great combination.
Yeah. Also, like, he wasn't horrible
No.
last year at all. I guess just like with the pressure, obviously they expect it to be a lot more. So
Expectations, yeah.
Yeah, but I would definitely take him. Yeah, I saw like you said the Stafford trade, and then like the Rams would want their first round pick probably. I'm not really with that.
Too much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just for the draft pool I was seeing, obviously for quarterbacks is a lot next year to kind of go after. So I'd rather take like a Travis Hunter, whoever is available at that third pick, to take somebody and then push for next year.
Yeah, and I think that's what the Giants' plan is as well. I don't think that they're in love with Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, so they don't want to waste that pick on a quarterback that they're not in love with. And I understand that. Like, you know what I mean? Just because a guy is there doesn't necessarily mean you'd be forced to take him. So take the skill position guy or the defensive guy and then go get your quarterback next year of the guys that you want. Who would you want next year?
I don't know. I want to maybe stick with the Manning.
You're not getting
club,
Archie,
but I don't
right?
know.
Archie's not coming. Okay, we want him. But nah, that would be cool if he actually ends up in New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'd be pretty dope. But yeah, I listen. The Jets are gonna. They've made the decision already. I am not fond of it, but at the same time, I am not somebody who is going to not really stand in their way, but be critical of whatever decision they make, right? Like, I need to see what the plan is. I need to see where they're going. The one thing that I can say is that they are rumored to be going after Justin Fields. Why? Come on. I like the fact that the kid is mobile, right? Got great escapability. We can't throw the football. We see what the hell happened in Pittsburgh. He was all right for a couple of games. And they said, yo, we need to have Russell Wilson back in here. Russell did his thing. They started to play great, and then they went down the shitter. But come on, Fields? You go from Aaron Rodgers to Justin Fields, and you expect this team to be good? This is what I'm trying to tell you. As I said it, if Aaron Glenn thinks that he can be able to just plot out any garbage quarterback out there and think that he's going to be able to get a second crack at the apple, he better think twice. Say, oh, Woody would never fire me. Yeah. Gerard Mayo thought the same thing. Many other coaches thought the same thing. You need to set yourself up for success. And Justin Fields ain't it. Damn sure ain't it. Go trade for Stafford. Go trade for somebody else, but don't get him. If you want him, get him as a backup. Don't sign him as a QB1, because we ain't going nowhere if that's the case. Nowhere. Unless that's a plan. Unless that is the plan. Unless you want to sign him, tank, and then we go get Archie. Then we get Archie next year. So maybe that's it. I don't know. So I'm going to see how the plan unfolds. I'm not going to criticize it too hard, but we'll see. Moving on. Nick Bosa is likely cut from the Los Angeles Chargers. Very shocking news to me. I never thought that the Chargers would move on from Nick Bosa, but he's getting older. Obviously they are up against the cap, and it might just be time for them to move on. Teams that I would love to see. I said Nick Bosa. It's Joey Bosa. Teams that I would love to see go after Joey Bosa. I think the Jets would have a need for Joey Bosa. The Cowboys. I think the Giants. I think there's a lot of teams that are vying for him. 49ers. Could you imagine if the 49ers go for Joey Bosa and partner him up with his brother, Nick Bosa? Come on now. I don't want that. That's nonsense. You can't have those two guys on the same team. That's not fair. That's why I'd be one of those fans. It's not fair. That's nuts. Bring New York. Right? We need somebody over here. We need somebody that could be able to be a great edge rusher. Because we don't have that. We don't have that. So set to make $26 million next year. So I think that they're trying to cut him so they can be able to because he has a $12 million roster bonus. That's the problem. 29 years old. So they have cap space. Projected cap space is 63. Okay, so if they move on from a Joey Bosa, they can be able to have a lot more space under the cap and probably just repair the team, revamp the team through the draft, through maybe free agency, go get somebody that's younger and cheaper, or maybe that's somebody that's just cheaper who can be a placeholder until they find who they want. So it's a business at the end of the day. Like, this is not personal. This is a guy that has been a very good player over the length of his career. He's had some injuries, yes, but he's a very solid player, and he's a guy that has earned his money with this franchise in the NFL. He's done his thing, but it might be time to move on. I can see a team like the Eagles maybe wanting to go after him. I can see maybe the Kansas City Chiefs may want to go after him. I think, another team that I didn't mention that would really be a great fit for him as well, the Bengals. I think the Bengals would be a really, really good fit for Joey Bosa, just because they need somebody that can be able to help anchor that defense, because their defensive line is not that bad. But if you get a guy like Joey Bosa, you can be able to be a lot more effective. Your pass rush, it'll take the pressure off of your secondary, which their secondary is not that great. So, I'm curious to see how this unfolds, but we know that the end is near, that the cut is coming, and just curious to see exactly where he lands. Moving on. Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has been angling to get a contract from the Cincinnati Bengals for quite some time now. Played out of his ass this year. I think, did he win the Triple Crown? He probably was close to it, but he was the best receiver in the football. Him and Joe Burrow, that combination, man. If you had that combination in fantasy, you must have won 9 times out of 10 in regards to your championship. I don't think anybody who had that combination didn't win a championship this year. It's impossible. The dudes was putting up crazy numbers. That's what I'm doing next year. I'm drafting Jamar Chase in the first round. And then I'm going to go get Joe Burrow. Then I'm getting Joe Burrow in the second round. I'm just going to lock it up. I don't even care. Because it's crazy. The amount of points you get from them two. So they had great seasons. He's a top 3 receiver. This guy is just talented, physically gifted, hands, and he's not really a diva either. I don't look at him as a diva. He's a guy that wants the football. Of course, he's a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver 1. He's a superstar, but he doesn't come off as a diva to me. And those guys are good players to build around. So, I thought that his contract would be anywhere between, 32, 30 to 37. Rumors are saying that he's going to push 40 plus. And I'm like, damn, this is where we at now? Wide receivers are getting $40 million a year. Quarterbacks are getting 60. We're talking about NBA money. So when you tend to pay wide receivers that much money, it just, I don't know, man. It's a lot. I think that's a lot of the cap that you're putting into one player. Quarterback, wide receiver combo. Wide receivers are so deep in the league now that a lot of teams have very, very good average, above average wide receivers that if you have a dominant guy like a Jamar Chase or, a Garrett Wilson or a Devontae Adams or, Jefferson, you have these guys. Yeah, it's good, but these guys are not winning Super Bowls. We've seen a team that won a Super Bowl based on the great defense, based on the great all-around team that they have. A.J. Brown's a great receiver. Yes, he's up there as well, but he's not the main reason or is such a cap hit to the team that is detrimental to be able to surround the team with the necessary pieces. You get a Jamar Chase for $40 million, what else are you doing? You're not going to be able to retain a guy like T. Higgins. You need other guys to be on this team so you can have a chance to be a complete football team and have a chance to compete. $40 million is a lot. Now, I don't care how good he is, but that's a lot. But shouts to him if he can be able to pull that off. It ain't none of my business. It ain't my money. It ain't my team either. I don't care. I want Joe Burrow. I want that if things don't work out. Hey, we've had a Broadway Joe before. We can have another one. That's all I'm saying. And I would empty the cabinet for Joe Burrow. I don't care what they want. You want 9 first-round picks? Yeah, here, take it. Take it all. He's that good. So, yeah, shouts to Jamal Chase. If he gets $40 million, I mean, man.
Who's the top now? Is it Jefferson?
I think it is Jefferson. What does Jefferson make right now? Let me see. Top wide receivers. I think Jefferson. Is Jefferson at 40? Top wide receiver salaries. Okay. Spot track. Justin Jefferson. Alrighty. So. All right, so we see the cap hit for 2026 is $38 million for him. But I'm trying to see the annual. Here we go. So the AAV, yeah, it's like $38 million or something like that. Is that what it is? That's what it looks like. It's a lot of money.
If it's close, I feel like, because I know they had like their ex-teammates that have like a little friendly competition, like who's better and whatnot. So maybe he's gonna push for that extra $2 million if it is like 38. Be like, I want to be the
that's the way it
receiver.
always is, right?
Yeah.
Like you always see guys that are just jockeying for position in regards to the like they'll take $500,000 more. You know what I mean?
The best, because like I always see like when they were the LSU together, right?
Yeah.
With Burrow, and they're always like getting that like interview question, who do you think's better? Like, what do you think I'm gonna say?
Right.
So
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's I agree 100%. So $40 million is a lot. It's a lot. But who am I? Yeah, so Justin Jefferson's making 35.
35, okay.
And then CeeDee Lamb's making 34. So if he gets 40, that's what I'm saying. I thought he was gonna get anywhere between 32-37, but 40 is another $3 million, I guess, but it's just, I just don't think that that's a good way to build a team. So, see what happens. Moving on. Zach Martin retires from the NFL. Zach Martin retires from the Dallas Cowboys. How do I feel? He knew. He said, man, Barry's gone. I got to go now. Ship be sinking. You got to know when the ship be sinking. Why is Zach Martin going to sit out here and kill himself over a team that's not built to win right now? And at that point, he's had some injuries. Didn't really play that great this last season. 11 seasons. 9 Pro Bowls. One of the most decorated offensive linemen in the history of the game. So for me, as a former Dallas Cowboys fan, salute to him. I think it was time for him to go because you started to see him slow down, not be as effective. He didn't play this well. He was shut down after 10 games this season. So he wasn't the Zach Martin of old, right? But again, when you're looking at your future, when you're looking at what's in front of you, do I want to continue to play? Yes. Can my body hold up for an entire season? Training camp, 17 games, possible playoffs. At some point, you have to say, I don't think that I want to put myself through that. Then on top of that, you might love the organization, but if you don't love the direction of where the team is going and you don't feel that this team is going to be a team that's going to actually compete for a chance to win a Super Bowl, then what are you really playing for at this point? Some guys are very, very old school, silent assassin, where they want to win. As an athlete, money's gonna be there, right? If you're good at what you do, somebody's going to pay you what you think you're worth. Close to it, or if not, exceed what you thought that you were gonna get, right? But if the desire to not want to compete or win is not there anymore, then fuck the money. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like if your body is breaking down and you realize that, man, I've lost several steps and I can't be the player that I've always been. That's another thing too, right? Like if you're in a profession, say for you, for example, and you're getting to the point where you can't hold the camera anymore, or you can't travel the way you want to because whether you're having some health issues or you're just losing the steam to be able to do it the way you used to do it. You're going to wake up one morning and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Mm-hmm. No matter how much you love it, you just realize that you just can't anymore. It's a struggle and it feels like work. And when things that you love start to feel like work, it's time to get out. Mm-hmm. And I saw that guy struggle last season to stay healthy, to be a part of the team, and he just didn't have it anymore. So, it was one of those things where I didn't even really hear people talk about, hey, is Zach Martin even going to come back? Or is he considering retirement? I know there was some rumblings at the end of the season, but, it kind of got pushed to the back burner and didn't even think about it again. But salutes to him, man. I think he's one of the best offensive linemen that we've seen, especially for the Cowboys and their history. So, it's a big hole to fill. Tyler Guyton, I don't know what the hell he's going to do because he didn't look good. Terrence Steele is trash. They're going to have to revamp that offensive line, and this is a gaping loss. I was going to say gaping hole, but pause. I'm not going to say that. Gaping loss for this team as they continue to hemorrhage their older guys. Guys are starting to, there's Tyron Smith is gone. You have now Zach Martin gone. These are the guys that used to hold it down for the last decade plus for the Cowboys, man. It's a changing of the guard. Happens in sports, right? But many salutes to Zach Martin, man. He's been a very, very good Dallas Cowboy. He's never really been a detriment to this franchise, and that's what you're looking for when you have guys that are supposed to be the leaders, not only off the field but on the field. He's been a great ambassador and player for the game. So, shouts to him. Moving on to the most important stuff today. I keep it. I know I pushed it all the way to the last block, but I like to talk baseball last. Mets spring training. We love it. There's so much good stuff going on. Man, listen, I like the fact that Soto and Lindor, they're laughing and smiling. Senga is laughing and smiling. Marte's out there smiling. It's such a good time to be a Mets fan right now. Listen, I saw Juan Soto in full Mets gear. It was great. My good, I was just like, man, he got the blue undershirt. What?
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see it.
Very nice sight.
Man.
Yeah.
You can't get tired of that.
No, it was like that's like what I wanted to see. Like we've seen like the press conference was, but like it's not real yet. And now it's full blown
in-game uniform.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's nice sight to see.
The Soto shuffle on full display. What?
Yeah,
What?
I saw that.
What's going on? What's happening? What is happening? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, the vibes are definitely really, really good.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Now listen, we got to talk about some bad stuff. Mm-hmm. Frankie Montas.
Yep.
Out for 6 to 8 weeks, so we're probably not gonna see him until at earliest May.
Yeah, May.
Mid-May earliest. I think we're not gonna see him until June.
Because I also did see that he's probably going to need like a full spring training length of rehab as well. So that's coming like around the summer.
Right.
So, and I did read that the Mets aren't really looking to fill that role, like not add any new players. So.
Well, they were planning to do the 6-man rotation anyway.
Yeah, so they already have whom would fill that spot.
Right.
So
who would you put into that spot? Who's your 6-man rotation?
I think
we have Senga.
Yeah, Senga.
You have Clay Holmes. You have Peterson, Manaya. And
then you're going to have to, I know they did say McGill is going to be bullpen to push him up.
Right.
And then even
Blackburn
too.
Griffin Canning.
Yeah, he was horrible last year, but
yeah, he trash.
He could turn it around.
Our pitching lab we're going to fix him. We're going to fix him. Here's my 2 that I want to see get some action. I think Brandon Sproat might make this team.
Yeah, that would be
yeah,
nice to see.
I think he might make this team. So if he can make this team and get into that 6-man rotation, man, I would love it. Mm-hmm. But here's the other dark horse. What's a guy that you haven't seen or heard about on this team in 2+ years?
2 years? He's in the organization?
Yes.
Is it whom I'm thinking it is that just came out that he's better?
Let's hear it.
Is it Allen?
Matt Allen. Man, we haven't seen the man in 2 years. Hey, he's back now.
Yeah.
He was one of our well-touted prospects, but he just kept getting hurt. But the guy has good stuff.
Yeah, he was supposed to be like huge.
Yeah, he was supposed to be that guy.
Yeah.
So he may not be that guy, but put him in there. Put him in there. I want to see what he got.
Yeah.
Listen, when I heard the news, I said, what? He's back. Love it.
Yeah, I kind of forgot he existed.
How can you not forget about him?
Yeah.
You ain't seen him in 2 years. There's been a lot that's changed in 2 years. Mm-hmm. Lot. Mm-hmm. We got Sproat. We got this guy. We got Soto. We don't care about no damn Matt Allen, but hey, we care about him now because we need him. We need him. So I would love to see him make the team because I think he can contribute. Listen, a lot of people have criticized David Stearns for his approach and said, "Oh, we should have signed Corbin Burns. Why? We should have gave Max Fried the money." The Yankees gave him 8 years. He wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
Not for a 31-year-old pitcher.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not like it's a smart.
It's not fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
So some teams like to build up their rotation. Look, the Yankees have big money invested into their rotation. Rodon, they have Fried, they have Garrett Cole. They have guys that they're paying big top-notch dollars to in their rotation. What happens if a guy goes down? The Yankees lineup is very thin. So there's a catch-22. You know what I mean? Like, you can do it that way. You can do it our way. We have a very good lineup, but we're very deep pitching. Mm-hmm. So I would rather have 8, 9, 10 guys that we can be able to throw in there on any given day and see what happens. Mm-hmm. Because if a guy like Matt Allen makes the team and he pitches well, throw his ass in the rotation. Mm-hmm. Get him a shot, right? If Brandon Sproat makes the team, give him a shot. Mm-hmm. So I like the depth because if you have enough guys that can be able to be ready and contribute to the team, it makes, I think it bodes well for us. Mm-hmm. And granted, pitching is hard to come by, especially if you need starting pitching going into like the deadline. But I do think that guys are going to be available this year. So we'll see. I mean, look, Castillo, he was available in the offseason. Who's to say that he's not going to be available at the deadline? Not saying that the Mets are going to be the only teams going after him, but I'm sure he'll be available. There'll be other guys. I'm sure that if Dylan Cease doesn't get traded now, he's going to be probably the top name to get traded by the deadline, right? So there's going to be a lot of guys that are available at that point. So I think that David Stearns is playing this the right way. Plus, on top of that, too, the guy that I actually wanted them to pivot to when I heard that Montas went down is Quintana.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Jose Quintana. If we can go get Quintana back for $17 million for 1 year, yeah, sign his ass back.
I'm like surprised that he's not signed to the team.
Yeah, I thought he would have more interest, but I think he might have been looking for maybe a multi-year deal. But I also do think that he wanted to come back to the Mets as well. Yeah. So I think that just one of those things where maybe he kind of, held out some hope to see, hey, listen, if they have an injury somewhere, maybe I can be able to have an in there. So I would love to see them work that out. If he can come back, then it's only going to help our rotation look even better. Yeah. And then we'll have even more depth, which is good. So I'm very, very happy about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
100%. Even, too, like Buto, too, we have
just
the long inning
guys.
Jose
Buto.
Cover,
We have depth, man. And, the bullpen looks good. Love A.J. Minter. Love the back end of the bullpen. I think that we have a very solid team this year. Mm-hmm. And I think this team is built to be able to handle any injuries. Granted, I think offensively we might be a little thin at certain spots. Like if Lindor, God forbid, gets hurt, can we be able to trust Acuna to play short? He's shown the ability to do so, right? But where else are we going to turn to? So we got to see. I'm hoping that Mauricio can get to this team. I think that he may end up being the X factor that puts this team where they need to be. There are certain guys that come around every so often that you have to listen, you have to watch them take at bats. He's one of them. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you a story. I think I told you this before. Many, many years ago, many moons ago, I was cleaning my apartment, and I had the baseball game on. There was the Reds against, might have been the Brewers. And playing my part, not really paying attention to the game. Game's just in the back. And I heard this thunderous crack off the bat. I dropped the vacuum. And I ran to the TV because I said, who the fuck hit that ball? You know who it was? It was Josh Hamilton.
Yeah.
And you saw what Josh Hamilton ended up being. He was one of the well-touted high school guys that ever come out of, the little leagues or whatever you want to call it, like out of high school. He was the most well-rounded prospect, but the sound that ball made off his bat was different. And those are the guys that you have to say, yo, that kid Mauricio has the same thing. When he swings that bat, you have to listen and pay attention. His exit velocity is like top 3 in the league. I think it's only Vladdy and some other guys that are this dude hits the ball far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if he can come back, listen, throw his ass to third, put Vientos at DH, and let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see him because he was like exciting to watch when he was
Yeah.
here. Even like at the games, like he's like huge.
I think had he not gotten hurt, I think he would have been probably the third baseman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he played pretty well in, 23 when he was up here. Played well.
Yeah, it would definitely because like Vientos obviously wasn't great until this year.
Yeah.
So it'd be definitely strange to see like how the outcome would have been.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely.
I'm a fan of Ronnie, man. I'm a
Yeah.
fan of him. He's a lanky, and he has the ability to put on even more size.
Yeah.
Like
He's like because he's like how tall? Like
he's like 6'4".
Yeah, he usually like fill out. Yeah, he could be.
Can't wait.
So, yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good things in Mexico. But the biggest thing that I saw today, it's really nice. Made me feel good. Juan Soto surprised young Brett Beatty just because Brett Beatty willingly gave up his number 22, which is so good, right? Surprised the young man with a new truck because he's been driving that 2016 old Tahoe that has almost 200,000 miles on it, and he's been saying that he needs a new car. He said every spring training he said I'm gonna get a new car. Doesn't do it. Juan Soto gave him this nice car. He was very happy, and it made me feel good. I was like, man, this guy just got here, man, he's doing these nice things. We love Juan Soto.
Yeah.
He can't do nothing wrong. But then another part of me came around, and I hate this about myself because I just can't enjoy certain moments. I have to further go down this dark path of conspiracy again, right? I said, it's nice that Soto got him this truck. Well, he also should have gave him a one-way ticket to Japan as well. Send his ass to Japan because he needs to learn how to hit. All right? If he's going to be friends with Soto, you better ask him all the questions in the world. Just be attached to the hip. Every day, sit there with Soto and you learn. Because you can't hit to save your life. And he can. That's what I'm saying. So the fact that he gets you a car, say, yo, thank you, man. Thank you, Juan. It's so great. Thank you so much, man. I love you. But can you help me? Please. Because I'm struggling here. I heard Mendoza talking about, they planning this trip to Japan, and every time I hear Japan, I get scared and nervous. So I don't. Maybe he was talking to Senga, but I heard Japan. I just didn't like it. That's where they need to send his ass because I'm sick of it. We got all these young players. You got Gilbert. You have Jet Williams. You have Clifford. All of these guys coming up. They doing well, producing. This bum still can't hit. Well,
Yeah, he's gonna have to find a solution, or he's just gone.
Yeah. Like, how much chances you gonna get that? We talked about it last week. Now you're gonna play second base. What else you gonna play? Catcher? You gonna pitch? You gotta find something, do something because it ain't working.
Yeah, I don't even. Like, also too, I've been seeing he's might be a guy that benefits like a change of scenery because obviously for everybody, and he went through it. Obviously, he's was a top prospect, a lot of hype, and then he comes here and doesn't have the best times.
Yeah,
So
that can happen.
yeah.
That can happen. Like if he goes to a team like Milwaukee, right? He goes to a team like Kansas City. Yeah, you go there. There's not a lot of pictures and media in your face. It's great. You'll be able to just be bad or be good, whatever it is. But you need to figure it out. I need David Stearns to be like, look, man, like if you gonna play a lot, but if you don't hit in the first 6 weeks, we sending you to Japan. Like this is it. We can send you there. I'm sick of it. Like just come on now, man. I couldn't enjoy the feel good moment. I just couldn't. I tried. I'm like, this is great. This kid got gifted this lovely gift from this superstar player because he did something admirable as a teammate. But God, just learn how to hit, man. That's all I care about. I get emotional about it because I love the Mets. I'm sick of this kid. He needs to learn because he has potential. Like, here's the thing, too. Even if he doesn't become this great hitter, get better defensively. Because that's where I was really frustrated with him. That not only are you not swinging the bat right, but you can't field either. At least Vientos can hit home runs. I don't give a damn if he has 13 errors at third. Doesn't matter to me. He can hit home runs. What do you do?
Yeah. He had one of like the worst like Mets like type moment.
Yeah.
When he just like dove for the ball and smacked him back up in the face. It was horrible.
Just can't, man. So hopefully he gets it together. Thoughts about the top of the batting order? According to Mendoza, we're going Lindo and Soto.
Yeah. I think it could work. What did I say? What did I have? I had Soto 2.
Yeah, Soto 2, and I think you had Vientos 3.
Vientos 3 and then Pete 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't know. I feel I like Pete better at 4.
Well, I don't think you could put Pete in the 3.
Yeah, it doesn't. So at that rate, I don't really agree. I mean, he's the coach and he knows obviously a lot more, but I do like Soto at 2, but then Pete at 3. I don't know. That would just be my only like question to that potential lineup, because then it would be, what do you have? 3 Pete, 4 Nimmo.
Nah, you would probably invert it. So you would have Lindor, Soto, Nimmo, and then Pete.
No, for Mendoza's projection.
Yeah, does he have Pete in the 3-hole?
Oh, I don't know. That's what I was.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
okay.
he only revealed Lindor and Soto at the top.
Okay.
So everything else is kind of subject to change, probably.
But even Nimmo, I don't know. I feel like at that, like I would stick with my original and have Vientos potentially be 3. I don't know.
The reason why I think Nimmo can work in the 3-hole is because, one, he's good at he can get on base. 2, he's become a better power hitter over the last 3 years, so he can be able to give you power in that spot as well as be a spray hitter. He can hit to all fields.
Yeah.
He's a guy that can be able to, like, he's your glue guy in regards to your lineup. So I think he can, because the way I had it is that I had Lindor, Nimmo, Soto, Alonso.
Yeah.
So if you just invert that, I don't think that's a bad thing. You can put Nimmo in the 3-hole, and then you have Alonso at 4, then you have Vientos at 5, because now there's massive protection in front of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's going to be able to get a lot of opportunities to get a lot of big RBIs, and he's a big-time hitter.
Yeah.
Like, he revels to hit in the clutch, and that would be good for him. And then probably in the 6-hole, you can put probably the combination of Marte and Winker, or if you want to go Alvarez in 6th, and then have Marte and Winker down there, right? And then you have, Acuna and McNeil there. So, that's not a bad lineup, but I think that there's room for fluctuation there for him, depending on how the bottom of the order is producing, how the middle of the order is producing. You can be able to see, like, if if Alvarez starts to cook, you might want to put him up there, make him bat fifth.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So there's different ways that he can play this, which is good. It's a good thing. It's a good problem to have if you're a manager, because that's a good lineup, man. That's a damn good lineup.
It's like potential to have like 5 guys to like hit like 30.
Yeah,
like
I'm
crazy.
telling you, man. Like, everybody looked at my show. You got over 4. I'm like, hey, this is if people are healthy. Obviously, that's not gonna happen. But if everything stays good, they can smack all them damn home runs. We got potential. So ESPN had the tracker of this is like a percentage tracker of who they thought would win the World Series. And I wanted to talk to you about this. See if I can find it. Oh, here we go. So ESPN has their top 10 teams, I guess. So at number 1, the Dodgers with 26.9% of the pie. How do you feel about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair. Number 2, you got the Atlanta Braves at 14.2%. I don't like that one.
No.
I don't.
No.
They made one addition in the offseason. You talking about we gotta see if Acuna's gonna be healthy.
Yeah.
Strider's not healthy to start the season. Well, what are we talking about? You lost Freed.
Yeah,
So what are we talking about?
Their team, they're still the Braves, but their team definitely got worse.
Yeah,
so.
the lineup is still great, but come on now.
Yeah.
Like this is like I don't this is Met hate right here. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Third, they got the New York Yankees at 10.2%. I think I would slide the Yankees in number 2 behind the Dodgers. They went to the World Series last year. The American League this year is still weak.
Yeah.
I think they're the best team in the weak American League.
Yeah.
So they should be the second hole. I think you would. I think I would invert that. Number 4, got those New York Mets.
Yep.
We like it. 6.4%. I would put it a little higher. I'd put it up by 7.5. You know, I'd give them another percentage point. I would. Let's see. They got number 5, Houston Astros at 5.4%. Yeah, Astros are. Shockingly, they got eliminated last year. I didn't see that coming, because anyhow they would have bucked up with the Yankees in the ALC. They would whoop their ass. We know that. Astros own them. Coming in at 6 is the Texas Rangers at 5.1. Baltimore Ravens at 4.9.
Baltimore Ravens. Orioles?
Orioles instead of Ravens. Orioles at 4.9. And the Philadelphia Phillies at 8 at 4%. Diamondbacks at 3.1%, number 9. And at number 10, they have the Seattle Mariners at 2.6. Interesting. These Mariners to finish that out. Not the Padres. Oh, well, the Padres are in decline because they have some financial troubles happening right now.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put the Padres there. But if you were to take the Seattle Mariners out, who would you insert? I have mine. I would put the Royals there.
I was just gonna say. I was thinking. I was like, were they even in that list?
Nope.
I'll put like Royals. I'm American. I'm thinking if there's like a sneaky team. The Rangers are in there.
Yeah, Rangers are there. Nobody's talking about the Guardians, right?
Yeah.
What about the Twins? The Twins weren't there. No.
Yeah, I would stick with the Royals too.
Red Sox are much improved though.
Oh, Red Sox. They weren't on there.
Nope.
Okay.
Red Sox are much. I would put the Red Sox over the Mariners.
Yeah, 100%. I don't even. To be honest, I don't even think I think the Astros got worse. They lost 2 big players.
Yeah. But you know what it is with the Astros is that they seem to always find a way. Like, yes, they lost Kyle Tucker. Yes, they lost Bregman, but
still, like, they have good pitching. And
they got good pitching. They have good farm system. They just know how to churn out good players. They just do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because look at the prospects they got for Kyle Tucker. They're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
They always find a way to get guys like, how the hell did they find this guy? You know what I mean? It's just it's crazy. So
the only thing with the Mariners is like they have the best rotation in baseball that are just gonna rot because they have no like offense really. So I seen like a lot of hate from them for not doing any moves really in the off season to help their team because like how you're gonna have those top guys in your rotation and not help offensively because you're not gonna get anywhere.
A lot of teams just don't have the balance.
Yeah.
You know, it's either they're very top heavy in the rotation or they're very lineup heavy and then have a weak rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. They might end up just shocking us and being legit in that top 10 contender. So I'm curious. I can't wait for this baseball season. I am just chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
I'm telling you, man, I'm very, very excited. Maybe my enthusiasm will drop when the Mets go on this 7-game losing streak and I lose my mind. But, you know, it's just, I just love it. I just love baseball. ESPN and Major League Baseball are ending their contract after this season, the 2025 season. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. It's about time, man. Listen, as a Mets fan, there's nothing worse than listening to the ESPN coverage of your team on a Thursday night base. I don't want to hear this crap. That announced team sucked. Where's Gary? Where's Keith? Where's Ron? That's what I want to hear. I never watched the Mets on ESPN. No. It's bad.
It doesn't even feel like whenever it's on, I'm like, oh, I don't even really want to watch the game.
No,
because it's just like horrible commentary.
Yeah, you lose the excitement. Like, oh my God, like why?
Yeah.
So I'm sure everybody's relieved. Oh my goodness, thank you. You know what's next? Prime. Get them, not Prime, what's this, Apple TV?
Apple, yeah.
Get them the hell out of here too. Terrible.
Yeah, like I'm a woman, I'm all for women being in the typical man role.
Yeah.
But I am not with it for the being.
Yeah, listen, just be good. Like, it got even nothing to do with women and men because Doris Burke for the NBA is great. She's amazing, right? But if you bad, you bad.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah, I remember I heard it once. I said, what is this garbage? What is this?
Yeah.
I can't even focus on the game. It's so bad. I got to put it on mute.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous.
It's just like talking about I'm like, do you even know anything about it? Like the facts, like the stats they say and stuff, it just don't even make sense. And what's their? I'm like, what is going on?
No, nobody even care about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You distracted me from the balls and strikes. I don't care what you're saying. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So this is great news for me. Like they're gonna find somewhere else. Like you go partner with NBC or something. I think NBC might have a good coverage. Go get them. You know, or give Fox more games. I don't know. I'd like to hear Joe Buck. Let me hear Joe Buck. I don't want to hear no damn ESPN. It was horrible, man. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. So this is not a loss for Major League Baseball. This is a win. This is a big win. And I gotta give Manfred some credit for him to say, you know what, enough of this. I've had too many complaints. I've heard too many people argue and be mad about this ESPN coverage. We're just gonna cancel it. No more. And ESPN's probably like, yeah, good, because we don't really want to cover baseball. We don't do well here. We don't have anybody here that wants to do it. Baseball is a very, very intricate sport in regards to play-by-play. You have to have somebody that can capture the game while not taking away from the action. They're adding to the action. And then you have to have a good color guy that can be able to complement the play-by-play guy. Because when you're listening to a game, and I always say that baseball is a game that's always been better to listen on the radio. Because it all depends on who's telling you the story. You can be able to put yourself in the ballpark with a good play-by-play person. They can be able to detail what's going on every at-bat, tell a story, and you have a good color person to tell a story and compliment that play-by-play guy. Listening to that game on the radio and being at the edge of your seat to see or listen or hear what's going to happen next, there's nothing better than that. There's no sport that captivates radio like baseball. So it's very important that when you have a good play-by-play person, you make sure that they are projected and put on the front end and highlighted. But when you have a bad one, it makes the game that much worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's unbearable.
Yeah, it's difficult to get through.
Difficult to get through. So good for them to get this shit out of here, and let's move on. Last thing in baseball before we head to Dummy of the Week. How do you feel about Vladdy? Vladdy, his timeline, they came and went. He's now going to be a free agent. There are rumblings that they said that they may start entertaining offers. I don't know if that's true because I don't think that Vladdy wants to leave the Blue Jays. He's from Canada. He's born there. So, there's going to be a part of him that still wants to stick around. I think that they can still be able to find a way to bridge the gap. But if he wants to leave, there's options for him to go. Boston wants him. The Yankees want him. We want him. The Mets want him. So, do you think that in a perfect world, would it be smart for the Mets to go after him now or wait until the off season?
Yeah, I would hold off. Just because obviously he's gonna demand a huge return, and I like a lot of the prospects that we have. They have a lot of high potential, and it's to kind of get here because we've been building that prospect pool for the last couple of years because it was obviously horrible for a minute. So
damn Billy Epler.
Yeah, so I would push for next year and see what we can do and what we could offer him. I don't know if he's gonna come here. I think that he potentially does stay. If he doesn't stay, then I feel like the next best team is the Red Sox. I've been seeing they obviously want to they lost out on Soto and a few other players, so they did get Bregman, but I think they might give a big push to get Vladdy. So I think that's our top competition.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Red Sox are definitely primed to sign him, but I don't put anything past David Stearns and Steve Cohen, because once you get into the room with those two gentlemen, I'm not gonna say what they are, but those two gentlemen, they normally close. So I'm just saying that I love it. I love the fact that now this is going to be a talking point throughout the entire year, is that are the Blue Jays going to trade him? Are they going to make this a situation where it gets awkward? Because, look, we said it when it was going on that the Angels should have traded Shohei. They should have traded him. There was no way he was coming back.
Yeah.
And when the Mets didn't trade Jose Reyes when he was going after the batting title, it bothered me as well, because you could have got a lot for him.
Yeah.
I am a big proponent for an organization getting the most that they can get out of a player if they know that player, there's a high possibility that player is not coming back. So, yeah, I think the Blue Jays should just because think about it, Bo Bichette's not coming back.
Yeah.
He's made it very clear that he does not want to be there. You know what I'm saying? So if you lose Bo Bichette, then they're more inclined to try to put all their chips into Vladdy. But I just don't see it happening, man. I think Vladdy is going to give them an opportunity to see how close they can get to whatever number he is. But a team like the Red Sox, they're going to be able to blow that number out of the water. Now, granted, yes, the Blue Jays have a lot of money, but they know they don't have anybody that wants it.
Yeah.
So, we're going to see what happens, man. I think this sweepstakes is going to be a lot more interesting than Juan Soto's sweepstakes for me, because I've always had this inclining that he was coming to Queens.
Yeah.
I said it years ago. You remember? I said, listen, wherever he goes, San Diego traded for him, rental. Oh, Yankees got him from San Diego. Rental. Enjoy the rental. I just knew it.
Yeah.
This I don't know. I would love for him to be a Met, but I'm not sure. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens. And that market is going to dictate his value. And I think that if there's one thing I can be able to guarantee, you're probably looking at a guy that's going to be, his final deal may be anywhere between 13 years and $530 million. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm interested even because what they even offered, they said, like, obviously he had interviews like, oh, were they closing? He's like, no, that was it. Like,
Yeah.
no. So, like, I wonder how a year is going to change,
Right.
like, what they initially offered.
Yeah, because
Like,
think
how
about
much
it.
more, yeah.
Juan Soto turned down $400+ million from the Nationals.
Yeah, for 2
He got
years.
$300 million more.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, just take that risk.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if Vladdy is asking for 4, and they might be offering maybe late 2s, early 3s, I can see another $200 million getting tacked on to that.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Or if he's asking for 4, I can see another $150 million getting tacked on to what he's asking for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting to see where the bidding starts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I know that it has to start minimum at 400.
Yeah.
Minimum.
I can't see him getting, just like with age and, you know, history of like performance and stuff and what potential. I see it definitely. I agree, like in the 4s, I would, but probably between 5. And
Yeah.
Where he final. the
Look,
final
Steve,
number.
just go out there and go give him 575. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. It's going. And mind you, we already got your brother. We got your brother in the minors leagues. We can call up Vladdy Sr. right now and say, hey, just talk to him. We got the brother here. Y'all can both be here. You know what I'm saying? We try to get Acuna Jr. He don't want to come yet. Well, we're gonna wait him out. We got a couple more years before he leave Atlanta, and then we got him. We got him. So you come along too. Could you imagine?
That'd be crazy.
Imagine Vladdy, Acuna, Soto in the same lineup.
Yeah. Lindor, yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's like the MLB The Show
Yeah.
type lineup.
That's what I got in my game. I traded everyone to make sure I got those guys. And anybody that came to free agency, I was maxing them out. 15 years, $40 million a year. I don't care. So, yeah. That's it for the Mets. That's it for our baseball. Now it's time for the greatest segment on the planet, Dummy of the Week.
Dummy, yeah.
Every week I go around the room and I ask, who is the Dummy of the Week? Silent Assassin, who you got?
So mine is the White House social media admin. Did you see what?
I did
thing
not.
was? So they had posted an ASMR video of deportations. So they had like the handcuff, like the big chains on the handcuff, like jangling and stuff, and then cuffing up the people. They didn't show the faces of the people, cuffing the people, and then have the people walk up the steps of the planes.
Are you
jangling.
serious?
I'm like, what? Like, these are human beings.
Right.
That you're having deportation ASMR. I'm like, this is, I don't know. Like, as a humanity, like, we're really.
This is where we are.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Taking like this like sensitive time and moment and filming it and putting it on social media as like obviously ASMR is like a trendy thing, and it's just like come on, like be human, have like some like kindness and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a lot to ask for.
I think decency, and that's a good one.
Dummy.
I think that decency has gone out of the window years ago. I think that the more people consume social media is the more extreme they want their consumption to be. Right? Like, certain things just don't move the needle anymore. It has to be more extreme. It has to be more on the edge. It has to be more echo chambery, right? Like, if I get those people out of our country. That's what you want to see. It makes you happy when it doesn't affect you at all. Doesn't affect you at all. So it's just, it's upsetting. But at the end of the day, let it burn. That's all I say. I got nothing.
Yeah.
I am not going to say nothing because the people that want this, cool. But for the people that see what's going on and they say, we were lied to, duped. The man didn't dupe you at all. He told you exactly what he was going to do. You didn't believe. So, sorry, not sorry.
Dummy. Yeah.
That was a good one. I have mine. May I have the drum roll, please? And the winner for Dummy of the Week, Doug Gottlieb. Doug Gottlieb gets my...
Dummy. Yeah.
Now, you know what? I am somebody who I don't like to give... I don't like to give grace. I like to kick you while you're down. I do. And then when you try to get up, then I'll kick your hand and then kick you again while you're down. Because some people deserve it, right? Doug Gottlieb is the coach of the Green Bay college basketball team, right? And nobody knows why he got hired. I think that Green Bay was trying to make a splash and didn't realize that they chose the wrong guy, because this is a guy that told the AD that he's not going to quit his podcasting to be a coach. He's going to do both. So he's still going to talk about big topics. He's still going to tweet as crazy as he tweets and criticizes people. But you're also going to have time to coach a college basketball team in that hodgepodge of stuff and activities that you do. Everybody knows that when you are a head coach, it takes up all of your time. You don't have time to tweet. You don't have time to have a podcast. You don't have time for your family. You don't have time for none of this shit. You have time to be able to get your game plans in order, run your practices, do your recruiting, get your players on the right path, make sure that guys are developing properly, make sure guys are mentally prepared, mentally locked in, they're not waning, they're not, checking out. This is something that you have to constantly do every single day as a head coach. No, this dummy wants to be a podcaster. Cool. So he's an avid he's an avid critique and likes to criticize LeBron James, right? However, this man lost like 20 games in a row, I believe. The record of the team, he's like 3-24. So LeBron James tweets out, earned to not given. And then he said, gotta give him credit though. Laughs, right? Laughs and has shit emojis after that. So now Doug Gottlieb got upset and he said, I don't think it speaks well for somebody who, like, don't you have the off day? Don't you have the day off? Don't you have better things to do? My response is, Colin Cowherd told me a long time ago, don't punch down, always punch up. So me talking trash to him will technically me punching up, and him it's punching down. So I don't know. I guess pettiness and insecurity aren't limited to just people who aren't super successful in their field. I guess that would be my response. So it's okay for you to throw criticism at a star athlete. But when he returns the receipt, you now are asking him if he has anything better to do. He can ask you the same fucking question. Because not only are you're not somebody who's just sitting on your mama's couch typing away, or you don't just have a job where you're criticizing, you're being a sports reporter, you're criticizing on athletes and whatever's going on in the news. You're a head coach. And for a guy that, like LeBron James, like any other high-profile athletes that respect the art of coaching, of the game, you're desecrating it. So him criticizing you is fair game. Because if you really cared about being a head coach, you'd stop the bullshit. And the fact that your team is rubbish, the fact that your AD hired you, everybody needs to go. Doug Gottlieb, he played in the NBA, thinks he knows a lot, and says some wild shit on Twitter. I might take him seriously. But the fact that LeBron James and other people have given him this platform and made him famous or made him public off of his ineptitude as a head coach, he feels bad. He feels ashamed. You should feel ashamed that you sit there after practice, after losing, and after giving these kids no motivation to actually play a game the right way, and you go and you sit your dumb ass in that seat, turn on a microphone, turn a camera on, and start recording a podcast after these kids give you their all and you don't give them anything. You're giving them half-ass effort. You think any kid is going to want to trust you and respect you after that? No. So I don't feel sorry for Doug Gottlieb. I hope that what happens to him is that after the season, not even after the season, before the season evens up, the AD walks into his office, throws his box outside, tells him to pick it up, and then fires him. Because you have no respect for the college game. Coach K never had a podcast. Coach Calipari never had a podcast. There's so many great coaches that have, worked their ass off to make sure that they're doing what they have to do to be as good as they possibly can be, right? And this is how I'm going to end my show tonight, because I don't want to talk about Doug Gottlieb anymore, because he's a clown. He's always been a clown. He's always been somebody who we never really take seriously in the sports world. I never listened to a Doug Gottlieb take and said, oh, he's actually right. Clown. So instead of me lambasting him for as long as I want to, I'm actually going to listen to a real coach that actually has the respect of his team, the respect of his program, and the respect of others. When he speaks, people listen. So this is how we're going to end the show.
Dig in! Every time you miss a shot, your game deflates. We don't care about your missed shots. Play defense. You guys keep blowing opportunity upon opportunity upon opportunity. You're like children with bad things happening. Instead of digging in and be tougher, you wilt. Where is your toughness? Where have you guys been raised that you're so weak mentally that you just give up when something doesn't go right for you? Don't you know what adversity is all about? That's the game of life, not the game of basketball. You don't get down when things go wrong. You dig in and get tougher. Your whole life's going to be adversity. Learn how to deal with it. Dig in and be a basketball.
That was the legendary coach, Rick Pitino, head coach of the St. John's Red Storm. That's what a coach sounds like. That's somebody that you want to get up out of that chair and you want to go ahead and do the best you can and work hard and bust your ass for that head coach. Not somebody like Doug Gottlieb that says, I'm going to go talk on my podcast later, so not really bought in. What do you think those kids think when they know that he has a podcast to talk about later? Are you working on watching game tape when you're podcasting? Are you working on talking to children, talking to these kids and making sure that they're locked in for the next game? Are you giving motivational speeches like this? That's a coach.
You think like, if the coach can do whatever he wants, like, why can't I do whatever I want?
Exactly.
Come on.
So nobody will ever respect you because you don't respect yourself. So,
Dummy, yeah.
that's all I'm going to say. That's all for the show. Silent Assassin, got any thoughts?
So let's go Mets.
Yes. Yeah, this streaming thing ain't bad. It ain't bad. I'll get used to it. I don't think I have a PSA today. I don't. I'm trying to think, but no, I don't. Very odd. Nothing's coming to my head. Pause. That is it. Just don't say anything crazy in the week. It's nasty work. That's all for the show. Catch me next week. Catch us next week. Until then, stay safe. Stay cool. Peace. Oh, yeah, stay off planes. That might be my PSA right now. Just that plane